Hey guys, it's GameFace and welcome back to episode 27 of my Dortmund career. Now in today's episode we're going to be finishing off the January transfer window, obviously getting through this game against Leverkusen as well to kick things off. But we are going to be getting some transfer deals done, hopefully going to be selling one or two players, maybe trying to bring in a couple of players as well. And there could be a few big deals actually still to be done, despite there being a few days left, maybe even less than a week of the transfer window still left. So we do have a little bit of time, but we're sort of running out of time. We certainly have to use transfer deadline day if we are wanting to sort of buy and sell the players I expect to be doing in today's episode. Like I said, got Leverkusen as the first game. Then we've got the games we actually played last episode to play again, but the reverse fixtures. So Werder Bremen again, Wolfsburg again, which is a little bit annoying, but we've got those two matches to play. Hopefully we can get ourselves victories in both the games this time round. Doubt we'll get to the Nuremberg match. Doubt we'll have time to do that anyway. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing in today's episode. Main focus to begin with is going to be the January transfer window and trying to sign some players. Before we get into things though, if we could try and hit 75 likes on today's episode, then I'd really appreciate it. Also, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already as well, and that'd be absolutely fantastic too. Thank you all so much for helping me hit 17,000 subscribers on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Now on to the next, obviously small target of 18,000 and eventually further down the line 20,000 hopefully. So yeah, let's crack on with today's episode. Let's first of all get this Berkey deal sorted. Now we got a bid in last episode from Napoli, £31.1 million for Berkey. I did a poll in the last episode, 80% of you guys said sell him, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and negotiate a deal for him to leave. He's obviously transfer listed, but I can get a little bit more money for him, I think. So, Chief Executive says he's worth between around 34 and 50 million pounds. So I'm going to look obviously for around 40, 45, 50 million pounds for him. We're going to negotiate here, try and get a bit more, because obviously it's not quite in that range. I'm going to try not to be too greedy, but at the same time, 46 million pounds does seem a lot for this goalkeeper. But I mean, that's kind of what the range was. It was up to 50, so we're going to see what they say. It might mean they just walk out the room immediately, because they won't be very happy with it, but we'll hopefully see them come back and try and negotiate with us. Yeah, okay. That's awkward. See ya. So he's not leaving at the moment either. We've got to be careful, I think, with these, because we obviously had a good deal for Sanson that didn't quite fall through because I asked for a little bit more. I probably sold it for about 50 or just under 50 maybe in the last episode, but again, they decided to walk out the room before any deal was decided on. So a little bit frustrating. We haven't quite got a few big deals done. There's still a week to go, obviously plenty of time, as well as obviously the transfer deadline day as well to go through. We will now focus on the game against Leverkusen. We're also looking at trying to sign Wendell as well, another midfielder, but we've got to try and get rid of somebody first, trying to get rid of Sanson, amongst a few other players as well. Let's focus on the game against Leverkusen. This is the team going to go with. Berkey starts in goal, despite being transfer listed and maybe negotiating a move in the next week or so. Alvaro at right back, got Socrates, Devin and Guerrero in defence also. Devin's gone to 87 overall, which is good to see. Goetze back in the team after he signed last episode for us. Really happy to have signed him back. Weigl also in the side alongside Fekir, with Royce, Batshuayi and Bailey as our front three as ever. Let's crack on with this game against Leverkusen. Obviously, decent number of points in front of them. Looking to try and extend that lead if we can. And let's wait and see. Bailey coming up against his former club here as well. This game's all about Mario Goetze though, obviously making his return back to the club for a third time, is that now? Probably, something like that. Hopefully going to have another good debut for us here and try and get ourselves a victory against Leverkusen. Obviously a very good team, got a great few players in their side. I think they're currently third in the league as well, so they're doing pretty well this season. Let's wait and see how we get on against them. Got to try and beat them. Ball looking for Batshuayi. Can he get there? Yes, he can. He toe pokes it past the goalkeeper. There we go. Inside 6 minutes, Batshuayi scored. A bit of a bizarre goal, really. It's a good pass into him, but I was never expecting him to get there. Just gets in front of the defender, just gets something on it to slide it past the goalkeeper. It's a really strange goal. Defensively, not so good from Leverkusen. They let us through a bit too easily there. Look at this ball from Bailey on his left foot, and I expected the defender to come across and maybe challenge him or just clear it. He doesn't, and Batshuayi's allowed to run through and score past the goalkeeper, who again doesn't really protect his front post very well, but winning the game 1-0, good start to the match. Okay, looking for Goetze, that's good. Goetze running forward now, going to try and get a shot away. Oh, good strike as well, saved by the goalkeeper. Royce will now try and keep hold of it, but he was offside. That's not good from him. Good ball through there. Yarmolenko, our former players, through on goal. Oh, puts it wide. That's why we sold him, because he can't finish. To be fair, he did actually score a good few goals for us during his time here, but it just wasn't quite consistent enough. But forgot that we'd actually given him to Leverkusen. That deal went through pretty recently. So he could well have gone to haunt us there, but luckily for now he hasn't. Gonna fall for our right back. Oh, Batshuayi passes it instead of shooting. Chance here for Goetze though. Again saved, and Royce will follow up to try and get a ball into the box. They can't clear the lines properly for now, but it will be cleared. Batshuayi looking for Fekir, might find him as well. Oh, on his right foot. Should have been on his left and gone opposite side of the goal. Didn't quite work out that time. Again, saved by the keeper. Keeps it at 1-0 for now, but we should really have got the second goal at least. Okay, so it's half-time, still winning the game 1-0. Not going to make any changes at this point. We will probably make some changes 15 or 20 minutes in, but for now, I'll keep the team the same. Okay, picks up a good position here, allowed to turn. Can he shoot as well? Blocked. That would have been similar to the last episode when he scored, but it gets blocked this time round and cleared away. Again, Alvaro looks to try and get across into that post. Bailey's there, going to try and bring that one down, and can't do enough with it. Okay, all three changes now, about 10-15 minutes to go. We're going to bring on Rodrigo, Sancho and Dahoud. We'll take off Weigl, Bailey and Royce, give those guys a rest. Try and get a second goal if we can. We should really have had it in the first half. It didn't quite happen for us. And in the second half, we haven't really done enough to get anything else. So, yeah, hopefully that changes with the substitutions we've just made. I guess we'll wait and see. Hopefully we can get ourselves a second goal. I don't really like just scoring one goal. Got to try and build on your leads and make sure that you don't concede. Batshuayi scores. There we go. Not a bad way to introduce yourself onto the pitch there. I think a couple of players combined for that one. I think Rodrigo was involved in the attack and in the build-up play, but I think Fekir got the assist. And there we go. Literally 2 minutes after the subs, we got ourselves a second goal to double the lead and secure the victory for us there as well. Maybe the substitutes weren't involved anyway, but luckily for us, the goal went in and we've scored. Batshuayi gets it. I'm glad that I didn't end up taking him off in the end. Good chance for Klein on the overlap. Wow. What a shot. Luckily not on target, but there certainly has some power behind that. Wait, what? Second deflection, okay. Maybe explains why it went so far wide. 3 minutes to go. Goalkeeper's come up. We've cleared it away. Let's get going. Let's get the counter-attack. Sancho going to try and win this one back, and he nearly did as well, but goalkeeper's fallen over. It's given us extra time, and unfortunately, that will be offside, and he'll be back in the net. That's it. 2-0 victory. Got the clean sheet as well against Bayern Leverkusen. I'm very happy with that result. Obviously gets us 3 points, extended our lead in front of them, and yeah, puts us in an even better position now in the league, which is great news, because obviously we're only fighting in 2 fronts now, which is the league and the Europa League. And I guess we'll have to wait and see how we get on in the Europa League, but the league's important to try and secure, especially over Bayern Munich, who I think might be 7 points behind now. Yeah, Bayern Munich 7 points behind, so we have got a really, really good lead there over them. And we've got about 4 days left of the transfer window. Obviously got deadline day as well, which will be 10 hours on top of that. As you can see, last of the transfer talks are broken down once again, which is a bit unfortunate for us. But Arsenal come in for Sanson, £41.5 million. Obviously had a bid in last episode. The deal eventually broke down with Atletico. Maybe Arsenal are willing to part with more money. I think there should be, but I guess we'll wait and see. I'm going to again try and go with a similar sort of tactic as before, where we're just going to ask for like 55. Because, I mean, the chief executive's saying it's up to 60, so I think we'll go 54 actually this time. We'll just, you know, make sure they don't walk out the room instantly. Please don't. Okay, 49.3, we've got them here. This is going to be a deal that goes through, as long as personal terms can be agreed. Because I'm going to now say 51, and I'm happy to go to 50, but we're going to try and squeeze every last pound we can out of Arsene Wenger. And I'm not really interested in the selling clause, but we'll go for it anyway. See what he says. Yes, okay, £51 million Sanson's leaving for. That's a good chunk of money for a player that I'm not really that impressed with in-game. I'll happily take that. Hopefully now personal terms can be agreed in the next few days. We can get the £50 million and we can try and bring in some more players. Loan offer for Sancho, a bit of a strange one. No interest in letting him go on loan. And some good news for us. Krusens has been sold now. He leaves for Watford. That was a deal that we managed to accept last episode. We get £8 million of that deal as well, which is pretty good. Bidding for Toljan. Wow, this could be quite an interesting end to the transfer window. A lot happening. Toljan, I don't think is transferred, but I am open to him leaving. £19.1 million. We could get a bit more for him as well. Okay, so I'm going to ask for £25 million, but it's Spartak Moscow, so they might not be willing to pay that much more. I don't know how big their budget is, but this is nearly double what his value is, so we'll wait and see. They might just walk out the room, but again, it's one of those deals where if it goes through, it goes through. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And yeah, they're not interested. Now into transfer deadline day, and we've got a bid in here for Guerrero from Barcelona. £28 million is worse than the bid that Chelsea went for, so yeah, again, no interest in selling him, to be honest, either, so that's not going to happen. Just quickly take a look at the Sanson deal. What's going on here? Just currently ongoing his personal terms, so hopefully we'll find out in the next few hours. Going to try and get the deal done for Wendell. Hopefully that can happen now. If you didn't see last episode, then you probably won't know too much about this guy, but basically he's a really good, fast centre mid that's also young as well. I'm going to try and bring him in. It's kind of a one that replaces Krusens, I suppose, who's obviously just left for Watford, so we're going to try and get this deal done, and I think Den Docker might well leave as part of this deal as well, if I remember correctly, unless did he leave in a separate one? He left in a separate deal, didn't he? So, yeah, we might just have to go cash. We don't actually have cash. I think we did it for Toljan last time, which obviously could still happen, so we'll go £13 million, see whether they're still interested in him. They're not anymore, they want a right winger. Okay, I don't think we have a right winger. No, we don't have a right winger I want to give them anyway. We have to wait even longer. Well, that's annoying. I'm not going to be able to sign him now. Okay, so I've had to end negotiations because there's no other way for me to be able to sign him, which means I can't sign him in the whole of this transfer window now in the final 9 hours, which is really annoying because I just wanted to wait until I had some more cash. Yeah, good about that actually. Quite liked him. Sanson deal still hasn't gone through. There's 8 hours left. I'm hoping he doesn't break down because we could do with £50 million, to be honest. But a bid in for Rodrigo, £27 million from Leipzig, one of our rivals. Yeah, I mean, not really interested in selling him. I think he does a good job for us off the bench. He's the sort of player that we need in that position to come off the bench and try and make an impact, and he does a good job, so no deal. And there we have it. Sanson has been sold. £44 million added onto our transfer budget there. Obviously a huge chunk of money. We can now basically buy whoever we want. Well, up to a point. Okay, so with the money that we've got, we're going to try and force through a deal for Ter Stegen. Obviously, he's 88 overall, really good player. We're going to try and get rid of Berkey as part of that deal, see what happens, whether they are even interested in him. £22 million is what he's worth. I actually think he's worth a lot more than that. But they're not interested in a goalkeeper. Helpful. They want a left back. I mean, Lato's the only guy I can really give you. I don't want to give you Guerrero. Are you interested? Oh, £73 million. Is that how it is? How's about no? What about £45 million and Lato? No, 73. That's not helpful. £50 million. Yeah? No? Okay. We'll just end negotiations. There's no point. Okay, so we are going to try and approach is Rabiot on a contract agreement, obviously, for next season. We are able to sign if we want to. We're going to see what happens with this deal. It might just cost about 100 grand a week, but I think it could be quite an interesting signing for us for next season. And he would obviously be a kind of a player that we could rotate between him and Weigl. Obviously, a left-footed player is always a little bit different for our midfield. An important first-team player is what he wants. We're going to give him that, and an 84 rated player as well, which is really good to see. 23 years old. So yeah, I think it could be a really good signing for us for next season. We're going to go 5-year deal. Hopefully, he agrees to it, and yes, he does. No release clause, and let's move on to his wage. Okay, so a bit more than I was expecting. We're not going to bother with the bonus. You're not having that, and we'll just submit that off and see what he says. 140 is what he wants. We'll just give him 140. Pretty happy with that deal. And Rabiot will sign for next season. Pretty impressed with that. Good youngster. So I don't think we are going to sign another midfielder now, because Rabiot will come in next time round, which I think is when we'll need another older midfielder. We don't actually need him, I don't think, at this point. Wendell would have come in and done an okay job for us, probably, but I think, again, we'll save that if we need him next season. For now, I just want to try and use the money that we have left, because we may as well use it because there's no other transfer windows to go. I just want to try and improve other places on the pitch. So I think we're going to look at Toljan and try and improve him, get him out the door if we can, but there's not that much longer left. 8 hours to try and get a few deals done here. Okay, so we're going to try and sign Hector Bellerin. Let's see how he gets on. We're going to try and get rid of Toljan as part of that deal. See what they say. Okay, actually interested in the right back, which is good. They're on £33.5 million as part of that deal, which is not so good. It's a bit more than I wanted to pay, really. I think what will be a fair amount is about 25. Let's see if we can get that done. And I'd be pretty happy to pay 25 million. The other option is Semedo, who could buy for 40 million. That's his release clause. But I would like to get Hector Bellerin. He's a little bit younger. Will be a better overall than Semedo by the end of the season. So we're going to submit that offer. Are we a little bit closer, maybe? Yes? Okay, so that's good news. Hector Bellerin could be joining us here. Just got to get the personal terms right now. And Toljan will go the other way, so good exchange of players. So he wants to be an important first-team player. Happy to give him that. He'll probably start over Alvaro, to be honest. And let's see what other agreements we have to make. 5-year deal, hopefully, is what he's going to go with. Yeah, no release clause as well, which will be good. And let's give him an offer. Don't know how much we should give him, but we'll start with that. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. 100,000 release clause. I thought we were on his wage. That's not good. We'll have to renegotiate that, I think. That's not good at all. Okay, then we'll just have to go ahead with that. I was meant to give him 100 grand a week, not 100 grand on his release clause. That could be met by anybody. Barnett could meet that. Okay, you want a wage decrease. We'll just move on, pretend that didn't happen. You want a wage decrease, 73 grand. Also appearance bonus as well, just remove that. No interest in giving an appearance bonus. We'll submit that. Make sure we're not submitting the wrong thing this time. 86 grand is what he wants, and yeah, I think we'll just give him 86 grand. And that's Hector Bellerin joining us, albeit on a 100 grand release clause. But good news to bring the right back. Obviously happy to have him at the club. For how much longer, I don't really know. Someone could meet the release clause now, technically, I think. Unless he's recently just joined, so I don't know how that all works. But he does come into the side. He's our new right back instead of Alvaro, who will drop to the bench or wherever. But yeah, got to try and think about getting that release clause removed, ideally. Okay, so just realised, because we messed up onto the deal for Ter Stegen, we're going to now take a look at goalkeeper for next year, because we're going to have to end up keeping Berkey, I think. We don't quite have enough money to bring in a good enough replacement. But luckily for us, the contracts of David De Gea and Courtois are running out at the end of this season. So we've got an opportunity to try and sign either of them here. Not really too sure which one to go for. Obviously, Courtois is a little bit younger, but at the same time, David De Gea is a little bit better in overall. I don't know whether to just go De Gea, though, to be honest. He's going to be very expensive to sign, a big wage, but he would be a very good signing for us at the back. He'd certainly keep us much more solid, I'd hope, and would be an improvement on Berkey, ready for next season. Both are very big signings, obviously, either way, but obviously we have to bring in a big goalkeeper to be able to do that. To Stegen would cost us a lot of money, whereas these guys would be free, just having to pay the wages. It's another situation where I could do with a poll, although I think if we go based off of the stats, David De Gea wins pretty comfortably. He's got really, really good stats. Obviously, I know he's better overall as well. If you look at Courtois, his kicking in particular is pretty low, 72. So we're going to go David De Gea. No guarantees that we're necessarily going to be able to sign him, though. Okay, let's approach the sign. Let's see how we get on. Obviously, in the remaining few hours of this window now, trying to get this deal done if we can. Let's try and get it tied up pretty quickly as well. 92 overall goalkeeper will be fantastic to have in the team if we can get him. Crucial first team player is what we're going to go with, obviously. Let's not do any stupid release clauses this time round. Let's move on to what I suspect will be like a 4-year contract. Is he okay with that? Yeah, I think so. Good. Disregard release clause. Totally forget about that this time. And we are going to move on to his wage. This is where I really don't know where to start. Just going to pluck a figure out the air. 320 grand, it's a 50 grand increase. Literally no clue what he wants. Hopefully it doesn't make him walk out the room, but it's a 50 grand raise. And he's asking for what he's currently on, but with a signing on bonus and a clean sheets bonus. We'll get rid of the clean sheets bonus, remove that, and we'll just submit the current amount that he's on. See what he says, and he wants 280, that's fair enough. We'll accept it, and we've signed David De Gea ready for next season. Easy as that, 280 grand a week. Totally free. He joins us in about 6 months, so pretty happy with that deal. It was obviously between him and Courtois, and I decided to go with him in the end. So we'll be good to have David De Gea ready for next season, obviously when we're going to try and push and win everything if we can next season. This season's been basically, at the moment, it's going to be the same as last season if we're going to win the league and the Europa League. Obviously we're a long way off the Europa League still, but if that's the case, then we're kind of sort of plateaued a little bit this season. Hopefully next season we're going to try and win everything, and we do need a really improved team to be able to do that. I don't think that we've got 2 more signings left in us. We do have a little bit of cash left over, but there's no real players I want to sign, so I kind of think we should just leave it here and maybe just offer some new contracts out instead. So we're going to try and renew Bailey's contract, because he's got a release clause of like £71 million or something. We're going to try and get rid of that totally if we can. We're going to go import a first team player with his squad role, 5-year contract, happy to do that. Let's try and get rid of the release clause. He wants a £109 million release clause. We're just going to deny the release clause. Hopefully he's okay with that. Yeah, good. And now we're going to try and increase his wage, but we're not going to give him the bonus on top of that. We'll just submit it. See what he says, 105. He wants 120 now, and we're going to accept it. He joins on a 5-year contract. Happy to give him the contract extension, gets rid of the release clause, and means that he's more likely to obviously stay long term. Lazzo has also got a release clause. No intention of really going through all that, just to get a release clause taken off of him. I think we'll have a look at Batshuayi maybe as well. £60 million. It's one of those things where I think if it does get met, then we'll just offer him a new deal. But it's this one I'm most worried about. 100 grand release clause. It's not good. We can't even get rid of it either. We have to wait until next season maybe. Yeah, let's be good to buy that. But I don't think there's any other contracts I have to give out. I'm pretty happy with everyone who's got deals with us at the moment. The ones that are sort of coming towards an end, they're leaving us. Zlatan's the exact same. He's got 2.5 years left on his contract. I don't think there's any need to do that immediately. But yeah, pretty happy with the players we've got signed up at the moment. I think we will just sim through the final 8 hours or so of the transfer window. See what other offers get put in for our players. See what other deals happen. Maybe we end up selling somebody else that we don't need. We'll have to wait and see. I've got 6 hours to go, and at the moment, no more offers in. Okay, so that's it for the transfer deadline day. Nothing else happened. No more bids were received. So we can now push on to that game against Werder Bremen. Whether we've got enough time for that match is a different thing. Because I think we're also going to do a squad report as well, which I was meant to do in January, but we're going to do it now, because I forgot before. We'll also take a look at our youth squad monthly report as well, see how we get on with our youngsters. Any good players at the moment? Probably just get rid of a few that don't quite look like they're going to be good enough. I'm pretty harsh when it comes to the youngsters. They've got to look really, really good to be able to stay in the youth academy, and I think the rest of these guys will stay. This Polish guy might well end up getting kicked out, but for now his potential could be fairly high. We'll wait and see over the next month or two. Okay, let's crack on with this squad report now. Take a look at the whole team and see exactly who's going up, who's going down, those sort of things. First of all, take a look at Muller, our goalkeeper, who's gone up 4 overall now, which is good to see. He's obviously out on loan. Casillas has gone down 1. He'll obviously leave at the end of the season. Our young goalkeeper there going up 4. We've got another young goalkeeper going up 5 this time. time, he could well come in and play, well, he will play a second choice, obviously, when Casillas goes, for sure. Got Berkey, who's got up 1 overall so far this season. Bayern's got up 1. Haslak up 2 out on loan. Alvera up 2 as well. Our young right back there up 2. Akanji up 1. Socrates stays the same. Divin up 2. Young centre-back remains the same. Sani goes up 1. Graf goes up 4. Zakadu 7. Lato 2. Guerrero 1. Young Hollow midfielder stays the same as well so far. Burnett goes up 2. Weigl up 1. Ozcup up 1. Dahoud up 2. Gertens obviously remains the same. Bailey's gone up 1. Royce stays the same. Larson up 2. Another young player as well. This guy might be someone we promoted quite recently. He has gone up 1 overall. Fakir goes up 2. Got Becker going up 1. Pulisic up 1 despite being injured. Rodrigo up 1. As is Isak. Batshuayi. Seri up 2. He is transfer listed and hopefully will leave. In fact, I think we're just going to release him from his contract now. Zlatan's gone down 2 since joining. Got Sancho up 4. And that is everyone in the squad. So let's take a look at Zagadou. Obviously has grown the most so far this season. And then our young goalkeeper, who hasn't really had much of a look in recently. Although stats-wise, he looks pretty decent, so probably deserves another go. Okay, so let's release this guy for his contract. He has been transfer listed, and he has no intentions of ever being featuring in any of our teams ever. So we're going to pay £64,000 to get rid of him. He finally leaves us, and that means we can stop getting bids in for him. Transfer offer in here for Berkey from Inter Milan. Window closed a couple of days ago, but there we go. We'll wait and see what comes of this. Also, we know we now have David De Gea coming in next season, so he would obviously leave next season as well. But let's see what we can negotiate with Inter Milan. Wasn't expecting to be doing deals like this outside the window, even though it's possible. I wasn't expecting to do that. I was going to possibly go ahead and sim the game against Werder, but we might leave it until next episode now to play it. Let's propose a new transfer fee. We're going to look at like 45, I think is what we'll go with. I was looking for a bit more before, but we'll just go 45. I'll take that for him. What are you going to say? No interest. Scaring everyone off with that sort of price tag. Okay, so we've got a game against Werder Bremen. We'll play that next episode. Same with the game against Wolfsburg as well. Only had time to play 1 game in today's episode. Been doing loads of transfers, trying to get the team sorted and all that sort of thing. But we'll get back into the usual games to play next time round. We'll have a look at the games we're going to play as well. So Werder Bremen, Wolfsburg and Nuremberg. Although we might sim Bremen and Nuremberg because they're not particularly interesting matches. So we can get onto the game against Feyenoord. But still fairly sort of dull matches to play, aren't they? But let's be totally honest here. There's not particularly exciting matches this month. What's next month like? Better. Bayern Munich, that's more like it. So let me know your thoughts about simming those games in the comment section below. Some people don't like simming, some people do if it's the right teams to sim against. We might well sim Werder Bremen and Nuremberg, but let me know your thoughts on that. We'll certainly end up playing Berlin and also the final matches as well. But that's everything for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If we could try and hit 75 likes, then I'd really appreciate it. Also, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic too. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at GameFaceHD and on Instagram at GameFaceHD as well. All the links to that in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.